matchup here in Week 3 between the Minnesota Vikings and our home team. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you, and now we sit, CD, at Week 3 of the preseason, and this is the one that the coaches probably think is pretty valuable, right?
Certainly. This is the dress rehearsal. This is the one where your starters are going to play. You might even game plan a little bit more than you do with a normal preseason game, and then you got to decide, do you bring them back after halftime and get them going again in the third quarter so they're ready to go when the regular season begins? I'm eager to see how these coaches will handle that.
Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
Let's go, D.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. 4 yards the result of the first play from scrimmage. Second down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Watson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. Third down. Quickly now a look at the defensive starters for Minnesota.
Harrison Smith's play has been so good in the NFL that he demands the respect of everyone. And I remember a couple of years ago when we talked about the top safeties, his name didn't come up in the first group. It does now. I remember doing a game a couple of years ago where the Rams were trying a lot of razzle-dazzle stuff. And Mike Zimmer, his head coach, pretty much said, sickle to Harrison Smith, and he ended that in a hurry. He can play close to the line of scrimmage, can also cover deep.
And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the third down conversion. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Charger first.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. He's airing it out for Williams. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. You know, last week I remember asking you, what would an offensive coordinator be looking for Week 2 of the preseason? Now we're in Week 3. Defensive coordinator-wise, what's he looking at?
For the most part in preseason, you're playing pretty basic stuff, pretty vanilla defenses. You're looking for guys that play with abandon, that just go out and make plays. You kind of let their athletic ability take over in order for you to notice them.
So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. First carry now for Jordan Howard. And Howard stopped short. He didn't get there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I wonder if they just kind of outguessed themselves a little bit trying to run it on 3rd down. Probably should have gone to the air to try and pick it up. Instead, the punting unit will have to run on the field.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complimentary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
They'll have a first. Down and more past the 20. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings.
Here we go.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
They'll set up a throw. Eluding the pressure right. And now he's going to use his legs. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down. You know, projections for him were a little all over the board. Some saw him as a day 3 pick, maybe a little bit higher. But here he is, round 3.
I do know teams that had him listed as a first-round talent. I also had teams that had him listed as a day 3 guy, which is rounds 4 through 7. So him going in the 3rd round kind of fit in the middle. I think he's going to have a chip on his shoulder wanting to prove that he should have been taken higher. And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago. Really, it grades out as a pretty darn good class. He rifles one that's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. I'm sure as a rookie, even though this is preseason, Charles, interceptions, you got to eat at you quite a bit. They certainly do, but here's the problem that he's confronted with. He's not the high draft pick. He's not seen as the next guy. He's got to prove himself to everyone and get noticed. So maybe instead of taking the safer throw, you press it a little bit. Try and push it downfield, try and fit into a tight window. And sometimes interceptions result.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
Now it's Watson. It's complete to Williams. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completion.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
On 2nd down, it's Hunt. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, it didn't go their way, did it?
No. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. From 13 yards out, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Robbie Gould on for the extra point.
Partner, remember that old film of Peyton Manning going through the route tree with his great receivers in Indianapolis? I think we're seeing the results of the same type of work here today. These guys know each other so well that they don't even have to call the play. They can just look each other and know the route is going to be run, and usually the connection is perfect.
This fielded at the 2. And what a return. Great field position all the way out to the 48-yard line.
Well, you gave up the first touchdown of the game, but how about the response? Big-time return. Now it's their chance to try and put points on the board.
Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
But there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
It's a nice job hitting him on the angle route there. Come out of the backfield, cutting sharply across the middle. And that's good timing between the quarterback and his receiver.
Effective 3rd down play to move the chains. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
They really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away. Throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
Come on, set.
They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on third down. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
That one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Here's Watson. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. After 7-3 the score on EA Sports. The Chargers on third down. They've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Watson now to throw. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. These offensive starters still out there in the second quarter. You would think the plans for them to at least play into the third quarter, if not all the way through it.
Yeah, it might go by feel. If they have a really good first drive to start the third quarter, they might pull them after that. If not, might leave them out there a little bit longer, but I'll guarantee this, they'll be gone by the start of the fourth quarter.
Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback when he delivers the ball.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Saquon Barkley. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Now Barkley stripped of the football and picked up by the Chargers. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Oh, backbreaker. That'll drive the coach, the offensive coordinator, just crazy. You get it all the way down there in the red zone, can't capitalize. Instead, they go the other way on the fumble return for a touchdown.
How about the aggressiveness of the defense, though? They're not about to just fall on a fumble, are they? Scoop and score is their motto, and they just did it.
Gold able to tack on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. Looking for a bounce back. Had the fumble a moment ago that went for a touchdown the other direction. Let's see if he can get back in rhythm.
And you have to be very careful about having too quick of a hook with really good players. I did a guy's game in high school where he fumbled 3 times in the first quarter, finished with over 300 yards on the night, later ended up in the NFL. If you've got a talented back, give it back to him.
Looking to throw. Carmichael open here, Adam Thielen. And he'll be corralled well up. Field right around the 40-yard line.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete. Tried to go back again to Adam Thielen, and now it's 2nd down. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Throwing again. Carmichael. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings. This quarterback now 4 of 6 since taking over, and he's got a 1st down. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. 17 yards, 1st down, Vikings.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position. Everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner. And with good timing, you get a completion, as we just saw there.
That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a 1st down. First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. From the gun, Carmichael will get this out to Barkley, complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. From 3 yards out, as his guys are back within a single score. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point, because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? the back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to launch this thing way down. Oh, wide open, complete. Touchdown, LA. A big play there. 75 yards. And the Chargers get the quick strike touchdown. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. There he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure that his team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game, but just let him know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else.
See if he has that confidence. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
49, guys. Mike, 49.
To throw again. Carmichael, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The former number 3 pick, Joey Bosa, bringing the lumber that time. Well, it was second long, now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Go now. Stick the oar.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Carmichael, open man is Thielen. It's complete. 19 yards that time for number 19.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Carmichael. And that's caught inside the 35. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
17 yards, first down, Vikings. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. And Barkley will try to punch it in. So he got free of one tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be second and goal.
And a nice job defensively to keep him out of the end zone. He's trying to get his second touchdown already in the first half.
They had that one earlier, was bidding for a second. So second and goal, and standing by himself in the backfield, Barkley. Second and one. His pass caught at the 4. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Saquon Barkley, ready for the regular season with his second touchdown of the game, as his guys are back within a single score.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 21-17. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
Well, indeed, trying to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. The tackle made there by Harrison Smith. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. So we've reached halftime here in an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Our starters likely to be out there for the third quarter as we get back underway in this second half. This is taken at his 4. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
The first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Now, he's been a busy man out of the backfield. They've looked his way quite a bit so far in this game.
Nice job there defensively, though, adjusting, because a couple of his earlier catches, he was wide open. Not that time.
You mentioned the key word, adjustment. A better cover man on him now in space.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home.
Throwing again. Carmichael looking downfield for Godwin. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third. It appears they're going to come up empty on this first drive of the second half, still down by that slim margin.
Yeah, and that's okay. You know, when you sit and analyze it, they're not happy about what happened, having to go to the bench. But this gives them a chance to let their defense do some work while they on the sidelines go over what they're doing offensively and formulate a proper plan. I absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
The Charger drive about to get going. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see what the offense gets done.
And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. First down, Los Angeles there with a pickup of 14 yards. On first down, it's Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
You better be ready next time.
So they come out of the locker room trailing, but plays like that, they won't be trailing much longer. Defense really starting out well this second half.
Yeah, they knew they had to jumpstart things a little bit. They really struggled in the first half trying to slow them down, but now they had a plan, made that adjustment that we always talk about, and it worked very well on that play.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 21 yards there on third down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Off of play action, it's Watson. And caught by Henry.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Here's Hunt, a nice little juke, and he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Watson on third down. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the first quarter, good second quarter, and now continuing that here in the third.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Been a good leadership and a good distributor. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now this pass into the hands of Saquon Barkley. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. An extra cornerback now in the game for the Chargers here on third.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Hey, Delta.
Operating from the gun, Carmichael, and that's caught by Smith. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. It was 3rd and short, and they go flying past the marker for a gain of nearly 30 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam. Oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. Nowhere to go. Here, he lost the football. And picked up by the Chargers. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
No coach or team's ever happy when someone has a turnover, but if there's ever a good time to do it,
preseason.
Yeah, right now. You know that to come regular season, he's going to be ready to go, and maybe he'll remember, yeah, I don't want to do this when it comes time for the games to count.
And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe they'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. That's a gain of 4 here in the fourth quarter, with them leading by 4 on the scoreboard. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away, trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it. Difficult on themselves on this drive. On 2nd down, Cook. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
They run it again with Cook. And he's got the first, but we also have a flag on the field. And they're already walking backwards. He was trying to clear the way, the big fullback. Instead, he gets a hold.
And you don't see that very often on running plays from those guys because usually they're the lead blocker. Normally, when he gets caught, it's in a passing situation.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Back to throw. Carmichael. And this is Cook with a grab. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
And he'll be down at the 46. So they go from 146 to the other on a pickup of 8.
It appears they found something that's working, and they keep going back to it. I guess you can actually say he has the hot hands now, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's one thing to hit your guy out of the backfield once, hit him a couple times. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're onto something.
And I think a lot of that is simply, if you get it to him in space, more times than not, he's going to get more yardage than you expect out of each play.
4 yards the pickup, first down.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? Second and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
12 more yards there and another first down. Well, CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
On second down now, it's Cook. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 4 as they work with his 4-point fourth-quarter lead. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is a time.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings have taken the lead.
And that's another route that defenders would vote to take out of the game.
The wheel route?
Oh, without a doubt. You're just trying to move everybody in one direction. And whether it's a running back or another receiver, as they zip out on the sideline, you've got a problem on your hands.
Yeah, well, the defenders hate it there. It happened, and it resulted in a touchdown. And he will get into the end zone again, and he seems to have a nose for it as he gets both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So the Chargers now down by 4. And time, a huge factor. You can't say the preseason isn't interesting. This has been great as they come up first and 10. They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Back to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. They'll look to throw. Gets this to his running back, Jordan Howard. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. He's back to throw.
And they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation,
and he's in for a Charger touchdown. A big play there. And the Chargers are going to retake the lead. Gold with the extra point, so it's now a 3-point game here in the closing stages as a field goal now can only tie it. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And it ends with the Chargers getting into the end zone. This is taken at his 4. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Back to throw. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
It's complete to Diggs. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them in bounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route? That's not the way you're supposed to play it.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. He'll look to throw. And he's got it. It's caught for a touchdown. And they have taken the lead here in the final seconds.
How many people are watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short of the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. Good night, everybody.